We're back on Sports 225. I'm Lee Feinswag, and this past Friday night, John Williams was kind enough to go with me, and we did some great interviews at the LSU Athletics Hall of Fame. Now, I have to tell you, I would have gone anyway because it's a fantastic event, and one of my friends from the old days, Dani Reis, came from Brazil. She was inducted as a volleyball player, but also Ashley Culpepper, a former diver for LSU, Amy McCluskey, a gymnast, Dale Brown, the LSU basketball coach, Kurt Ainsworth, who played baseball at LSU, and 90-year-old Frank Bryan was there. And, well, how else do you start but you catch up with Dale Brown, and we did last Friday night. All right, good. I'm grabbing this guy, and I'm not letting him. I'm putting my arm around him and not letting him go because I know what happens at these events.
Now,
Everybody wants to see
Shaquille did
Dale.
tell me this. When you see Lee Feinswag, do me a favor. He said, kiss him. Then he told me to bite on your earlobe, but I'm not going to do.
Well, Dale Brown is going into the Hall of Fame tonight, and it's not lost on you how significant this is.
Significance is really beyond that. This may not seem like it's a valid statement, but never in my life. And I swear in the Quran, the Torah, the Book of Mormon, the Bible, whatever else,
He's got them
whatever
all.
else you've got, I covered them all. That I never, ever, this was never a mission of mine to do this. I knew what my mission was. There's three ways you can look at it. It's not where you coach or who you coach, but why you coach. And the why was important to me. This is wonderful. I mean, I look around and see some of these people, and I've been at one honoring Carl Maddox, and I thought, wow, that walk they had, I thought, there aren't many schools in the country that can produce athletes like that. So, and I know it's the general thing is to say you're humbled, but it's beyond that.
Well, as I told you earlier, former LSU baseball player Kurt Ainsworth was one of the inductees. He went to Catholic High, is one of the all-time great guys, and has had a professional success that far outweighs his baseball success. And then another former LSU baseball player who was inducted like 6-7 years ago, Eddy Furniss, one of the wonderful people who's ever been a part of LSU athletics, was there. So we caught up with Kurt and Eddy. Kurt Ainsworth came on Sports Monday in 2000. And we talked about, you remember? Yep. The Australian Olympics, and if the water really went around the other way in the toilet.
That's right. I remember that. I remember that show.
Can you imagine the LSU Athletic Hall of Fame and the people that are in it?
No, I can't really. It's a humbling experience for sure. It's really a big honor to be in that select group of Hall of Famers here in the athletic department.
Take someone like yourself though, who grew up here, played all your baseball in Baton Rouge, came to LSU, had the success you did, and then knowing what it means to be an LSU athlete, but an LSU athlete at this level. I mean, it's such a high level.
Yeah, LSU's always been a special place to me, and that's why I decided to walk on here and not try to go play somewhere else. So I'm a diehard LSU fan in all sports, and it just makes it that much more meaningful for me.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what you've been doing since, and of course I do, but tell us.
Yeah, I stayed busy trying to build a company called Marucci Sports. We've been going at it for 10 years now, and we're having a good run.
Is it true that more baseball players in the major leagues use Marucci bats than any other bat?
That's true. This year we just overtook Louisville Slugger for the #1 used bat in the major leagues. So that's kind of quite a testament to our team since Louisville's been around over 100 years.
Those of you who never saw Eddy play baseball had the sweetest swing. You were Griffey-like.
Oh, swing hard in case you hit it. That's all I did. It was a lot of fun. Basically, I got that swing because I'm basically a lazy guy. Okay, my dad would make me hit like 2, 3, 4 buckets of balls every time I'd go out, and he would make me hit the last one as hard as I hit the first one. So I just figured out the easiest way to hit the ball hard, which happened to be the most efficient way, which happens to be the way to swing a bat. So, being lazy sometimes helps. Yeah.
He's probably not lazy as a doctor, which you are now. You're living in Texas, right? And
yes.
a doctor?
Back home in Nacogdoches, working, beside my dad, being a family doc. I do everything but deliver babies. I stopped doing that. But other than that, you name it, I'd do it.
You're the kind of guy I would expect would make house calls with the little black bag if you needed to.
Yes, I've done it. I've done
it.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it for just, people who couldn't get in there. And so that's actually a lot of fun. It's medicine these days, you can't really do it a lot, but I try to whenever I can.
You're back here for this event. You went in 6-7 years ago, and you know what this means. It's not insignificant to be in this club.
It's a big deal, and it was a big deal for me, and I know it's a big deal for Kurt. It's one of those things where if you look back in the rosters, there's not many baseball players who've made the Hall of Fame. I mean, and it's a big deal that teammates of mine make it. So anytime, like Coach Burtman, I try to make it anytime, but especially when my teammates get inducted, I want to be there for them.
Great to see you. One of my favorite people, Eddy Furniss. So if you never saw him, you go look it up on YouTube or something. There's got to be some Eddy Furniss swings out there.
Somewhere. Oh, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
Great to be here.
Well, Dale Brown wasn't the only LSU basketball person inducted into the LSU Athletics Hall of Fame last Friday night. Also, Frank Bryan. We had him on the show last spring. We did an interview with him. He was only 89 then. He's turned 90, and he was fantastic. He gave a great speech, and is just such a wonderful guy. We caught up with him, and then after that got to talk to another legendary LSU basketball player, Hall of Famer Bob Pettit, who is in his 80s. And, man, what a great time to visit with those guys.
Well, you know, to get old isn't one of my pleasures because back I could do things at 50 that I can't even think about doing now. But I'm glad to be here.
Well, this has been a long time coming. You got to be awful thrilled about this.
Hey, I am, more than I can tell you. And I really do appreciate it. And, you know, there's been 10 or 12 boys that helped me get at this point.
Right.
And they worked day and night for months, and because you know to get in the LSU Hall of Fame, you got to at least go by the office every now and then, you know, so that people know you. They didn't know who I was down there until you know, boys started telling them.
Yeah, your resume is pretty impressive. It's just that people don't know because it was so long ago. Well, you played in the first NBA All-Star game, isn't that right?
First and the second.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's been a long time ago.
So I remember.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you're the oldest living inductee to the Hall of Fame. I'm sure that's the record tonight. I would think so. You got to be proud of that.
Well, I am, and you know, and I hope that I can be around to come to some more. And not because I'll be inducted, but because I'd like to see the people that is, you know, going to be inducted.
All right, well, you enjoy yourself and have a great night.
Hey, this is a great thing. You know what?
Yep.
It really is.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate you coming over and asking me for an interview. I really do.
Oh, well, we appreciate having you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Okay. It's got to be very special for you to see both Frank and Dale going in tonight.
It is, and I think it's long overdue for both of them. So I'm excited to be here, excited for them, and you know, this is always a great occasion. So it's nice to get back and, you know, see a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time. So I enjoy this.
You know, it's got to be cool for you too. You come in this building, your numbers hanging. You know, it's a small elite group of great athletes who have gone to LSU who have gotten into this club tonight.
Well, yes, it is, and I feel very fortunate to be there. I'm happy. You know, I think the older you get, and I'm getting a little older, that the more important things like that become.
You know, the damnedest thing is with so many of you guys is that you don't seem to age. I mean, you could, if nobody knew you and knew your history, you could pass for so much younger than you are. And I mean that. I see other guys in the room, and it's the same thing. And maybe there's something to that.
Well, I don't know. I think maybe, I don't know. I'm very fortunate because I think the big thing I've tried to do is not put weight on. And I weighed this morning, I weigh the same now that I weighed 50 years ago when I quit playing basketball, to the pound. So I feel very fortunate, and I think for longevity and good health and all of that, that's very important.
And then there's Dani Reis, the former volleyball player from Brazil who came to LSU first to learn English as a second language. They discovered her, and she became a star, an All-American, and took LSU to the Final Four in 1990 and 91. She was here. It was a wonderful night, but we got to visit before the ceremonies. This is one of my favorite people and one of the greatest athletes in a world at LSU where we talk about so many people tonight and there's so much emphasis always on basketball and football and other sports. She was the greatest volleyball player in the history of LSU and remarkable. You got to be so proud.
I am very proud, and good to see you, Lee. You look the same. Look so good.
I don't look the same.
Yes,
but
you
thank
do.
you.
And yes, it's just everything. It's been so great to see so many friendly faces and just to be here. This is very, very cool.
How about this? Her sister Lou is in from Houston. Your dad surprised you. He flew up from Brazil.
I know.
Monica is here from Brazil. Other people. That's got to make you feel so proud.
So proud and very emotional. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to say up there. Probably not much because it's very, very emotional and just very overwhelming. Just to see Monica here, you know, she flew all the way from Brazil, and my dad surprising me last minute I just, you know, and you and Scott and Nyla, people driving from other states and flying in. It's just, wow, you know, this is a big deal. This is really cool.
Let me tell you her story real quick, that she came, I think you came here as English as a second language, isn't that right?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. I came to learn English. And I just told that story, you know, a lot of times, and you know the story. Yeah. But the real reason I came was to run away from my, my high school sweetheart who had just broken up, and he wasn't taking it really well. So my dad came home one day and said, "Do you want to leave the country?" And I said, "Yeah." He did. He said, "Do you want to just go abroad for the summer and just learn a second language?" And I said, "Yes, I want to do that." So it was really late in December, and the courses started in January, so nobody would take me in. Couldn't enroll anymore. So LSU called me and said, "We have an opening. We had a cancellation. Do you want to come? Class already started. You have to fly tomorrow." I said, "Okay." So I came, and you know, that's it.
Yes, Scott heard about you and saw you play and offered you a scholarship.
Yeah.
And now your own daughter next year is coming to America to play volleyball, right?
Yeah, she's coming, and both of my daughters are coming, hopefully. But one is already, you know, set, and the other one will,
That's great. Have fun tonight.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Good to see you, Lee.
I'm Lee Feinswag. You're watching Sports 225. I hope you've enjoyed all these interviews. When we get back, one of my favorite segments of the show, Cade Wassan and Hunt Palmer talking prep football. We'll see you in a minute.